Hey guys, today we're going to talk about types of sentences. Your freshman teachers reached out to us and said that this was actually something that freshmen struggled with. So it may sound kind of basic, but they're seeing something in high school where maybe kids are missing some types of things within sentences. So we would just want to go over it with you guys and get some practice in before you head out to high school in just a few weeks. So first off, let's talk about what is a sentence. A sentence is a group of words which expresses a statement. It might express a question or a command or a wish. So check out this example here. Susan and Joe ran home. Is that a statement, question, command, or wish? It's a statement. Who likes hot chocolate? How about that one? What is that one? It's a question because it ends with a what? A question mark. Go and call the teacher. There we've got a command telling you to go do something. So sentences contain a subject and a main verb. So check out this sentence here. Our subject is Susan and Joe. And our verb is ran. Remember, a verb shows some type of action. So in written English, the first word of a sentence is capitalized, and the sentence ends with a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. So look at this sentence here. Do you know where they went? Notice how the first letter of the sentence starts with a capital letter, and it ends with a question mark. Before we look at the types of sentences, there's one other thing that's really important that you need to understand. And this is independent clauses, or we can call them main clauses, and dependent clauses, which we call subordinate clauses. So you're going to hear those two terms quite a bit next year. So let's look at independent clauses right quick. So an independent clause is a complete thought, and it can stand alone. It's independent. So it contains a subject and a finite verb. So look at this sentence. Jimmy loves singing. We've got our subject, and what does he love? What does he do? He loves, right? Everybody wants to say that singing is the verb. It's not the verb because what is he doing? He loves. He loves. That's your verb. Dependent clauses are not a complete sentence, and they cannot stand alone. They modify or give additional information about those main clauses that can stand alone. So look at this one. When he finished talking, he sat down. So if I just wrote the sentence, when he finished talking, would that be an independent clause? Can that stand by itself? No. I have to have additional information about that to make it an independent clause, to make it a full sentence. So I have to add something else. And so what did I add? He sat down. So let's do a little bit of practice and see whether you can identify independent and subordinate clauses. Sorry, Miss Toll is still a little sleepy, so she's not reading quite well today. All right, look at number 1. It says, while opening the door, Susan tripped. So what's my subordinate clause? While opening the door. Good. Because she is unwell, Jade doesn't want to sing. What do you think that one is? Independent or subordinate? Let's check ourselves. Independent. I was sent home as I forgot my homework. What do you think that one is? Independent. So let's go back to number 2 real quick because I want to point something out. Notice what's underlined. Jade doesn't want to sing. If I took out because she is unwell and just said Jade doesn't want to sing, is that a complete sentence? Yes, so that's why it's independent. Number 3 says, I was sent home. If I took out the rest of the sentence as I forgot my homework and I just said I was sent home, would that be a complete sentence? Yes, it's got a subject and a verb in there. I was, right? How about number 4? John, who loves chocolate, ate the cake. If I just say, who loves chocolate, is that a complete sentence? Now notice there's a period at the end here, and I'm not asking a question. No, it's not. That would be a subordinate clause. All right, so we're going to move on to the 4 types of sentences, but today we're just going to talk about 2 of them. We're going to talk about the simple sentence, and we're going to talk about the compound sentence. And we're breaking it up like that so that our minds can remember just these 2 and not 4. We'll do the other 2 another day. So simple sentences are just that. They are a simple sentence. It's effectively an independent clause. It is a sentence that can stand alone. It contains a subject and a verb. So look at this example here. Owls hunt at night. What's my subject? Owls. What's my verb? Hunt. So I've got a simple sentence there. I've got my subject, I got my verb. Did I capitalize my sentence? Yes. Did I punctuate my sentence? Yes. So here's some more examples of simple sentences. My mother cooks dinner. Do I have a subject in there? Do I have a verb? Did I capitalize my sentence? And did I punctuate my sentence? Yes, I've got a simple sentence there. Look at number 2. Mark goes to the gym and works out every day. Sally and I love singing along to Frozen. Mr. Albert waited for the train, and Jim and Toby arrived before lunch and left soon after. So things to note about simple sentences are they contain compound subjects, or they can contain compound subjects. So that means there's going to be 2 subjects in there, or even maybe 3. So look at this example of Jack and Jill went up the hill. I've got how many subjects in there? I've got 2 subjects. So those are called compound subjects. That means there's just more than one. They can also contain compound verbs. So that means there's going to be 2 verbs. So Ben ate and drank at dinner. What did Ben do? He ate and he drank. So we've got two verbs there, which is called a compound verb. Simple sentences don't contain subordinate clauses or more than one main clause. Remember, subordinate clauses are sentences that cannot stand alone. So a compound sentence contains 2 or more clauses. So this is the second one we're looking at. A compound sentence contains 2 or more main clauses, which are normally, most of the time, they're joined by a conjunction. And remember, our conjunctions are like and, or, but, yet. Look at this example. Juliet speaks French and Sam speaks German. So my first independent clause is Juliet speaks French. If I took the rest of that sentence out, would that be able to stand by itself? Juliet speaks French. Yes. And then I have a second independent clause there. Sam speaks German. That's a complete sentence. That's an independent clause. So I've got my 2 independent clauses there, but I have to join them with a conjunction. So I decided to use the conjunction and. Juliet speaks French, comma, and, because remember we always put a comma before a conjunction, and Sam speaks German. So here's a few more examples of compound sentences. I waited for the bus, but the bus was late. Well, I waited for the bus. Could that stand alone? Yes, it's an independent clause. And if I took out the conjunction and just said the bus was late, could that stand alone? Absolutely. That could stand alone. So what do I have to put in between those 2? I have to put a conjunction. What do we put before a conjunction? A comma. Perfect. So I waited for the bus, comma, but the bus was late. Let's look at number 2. Joel never studied, so he failed the exam. Notice that my sentence starts with a capital letter. Notice that I have a comma before my conjunction. And notice that I punctuated my sentence. Let's skip down and go to number 4. My mother goes to bed early and my father watches TV. What are my independent sentences there? What are my independent clauses? My mother goes to bed early. My father watches TV. So we've got 2 of those. So what do we combine them with? A conjunction. And what do we put before a conjunction? A comma. Good. My mother goes to bed early, comma, and my father watches TV. Good job, you guys. All right. Things to note about compound sentences, and then I'm going to let you go to do a little bit of practice. So compound sentences, each of those main clauses can stand alone. A comma always precedes the coordinating conjunction, sorry. Like Laura went home, comma, but Reggie stayed. And then you can have more than 2 main clauses in there. So I like pizza and Joe likes burgers, but Zach only likes sweet things. All right, that is it for today, my darlings. Next time, we will talk about the other 2 types of sentences. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go into your Canvas agenda, and there's 2 practices. You can keep this PowerPoint up. It's in your agenda as well to look back at. And then there's also the notes. So glue the notes into your ISN notebook or write them into your ISN notebook, and then complete the 2 practices. One's on simple sentences and one's on compound sentences. And this will let us know how we're doing or if we need a little more practice. And if not, then we'll move on to the other 2 at a later date. All right, love you guys. Have a good one.